What's up, blue collar scholars? We are talking coffee and health. Today, we're talking about coffee and the circadian cycle. So the circadian cycle is something that I heard about a while ago, and I love it. It's super important to our health. I think I was researching it when I traveled to Europe because we were on a plane for 13 hours, and we got on the plane at 9, flew overnight and landed when the sun was up. And I remember sitting down, my brain shut down, my eyes were open, so the TV was just projecting images directly into my brain. It was trippy. I did not like it. So I was trying to figure out, how do I overcome jet lag? And that's when I read about the circadian cycle. The circadian cycle is how the sunlight hits our eyes and affects our brain and our body. And then we have this cycle that we go through, and it's important for our health. So I recommend research more on the circadian cycle. It's a big deal. Now, circadian cycle and coffee. Do they go together? Yes, they do. So another fun little image that I stole from the internet. Let's get it right here. Let me come over here. Okay, this is your circadian cycle, right? Your sleep goes down, you have a dip in the middle of the day, your sleep urge goes up, and then you kind of have this little cycle, right? And I'm sure all of us have known that you have the middle of the day slump, right? You wake up feeling good, you have a slump right after lunch. A lot of us push our lunch breaks because after lunch it sucks, right? Part of it's probably because we're processing a billion carbs, but whatever. Part of it's the circadian cycle too, right? And then we get back up, we have that second wind, and we have all this energy, and then we come back down for night, and then we sleep through the night. That is part of our circadian cycle, and that's why we have morning people and night owls. They have different circadian cycles. Adjust here, right? Night owls start a little bit later and go a little bit longer. Early birds have, it's the same cycle, it's just adjusted, overlapping a little bit different times. So, why does this matter to coffee? One, it matters to you as a person, as a human being, and you needing to be healthy. But what it also does is it helps you know when you need to caffeinate. Okay, so your body, when you wake up, your body basically self-caffeinates, right? It starts pumping in all these chemicals and hormones, and it gets you woke up, gets you going, fired up and ready to go, okay? Then once you hit that little drag, you're losing all that stuff. Then your body pumps some more stuff in there, and you get another round. All part of who we are as humans. So when do you want to caffeinate? When do you want to drink your coffee? You can have it first thing in the morning, but like me, if I drink it on an empty stomach when I'm getting going, I end up with the shakes in my elbows, my knees, and I have a really hard time focusing. It affects me a lot, actually. And so I learned that the best time for me to drink coffee is after lunch. One, because I have some food in my stomach, but also it didn't give me the jitters. It didn't mess with me at all. I figured that out, right? It's part of my circadian cycle right here. Okay, that's about noon, right? Oh, that says 10 a.m. That's the dip, right? This is when your sleep urge goes up. So right about 10 a.m., 10 to 1 p.m., your desire to sleep is going to start going up, okay? So if you want to overcome that drag, that middle of the day drag, have your coffee at 10 a.m., between 10 and 1. Okay, so caffeine stays in your system for about 7 hours. So unless you want to take this, and instead of this need for sleep going up, your urge, flattening the curves a lot, caffeine will do that. It'll keep you awake. It reduces that urge for sleep. That's what caffeine does, okay? Caffeine goes into the brain, and it says, brain, you don't really want to sleep. You're good. And so then your brain's like, cool, let's go. And so that's why when you have that midday, why I would recommend, one, finding out, are you an early bird or are you a night owl? And then basing it on that, kind of gauge, when do you have that slump? And caffeinating around that time. So for me, I am technically a night owl, and so my dip technically happens later. It's about 12 to 1 o'clock is really when my dip happens, okay? So that's why I have lunch at 12, pack it all in, and then I go have my coffee. I brew it, drink it after lunch, and I'm good, and that's what helps me so my dip doesn't go all the way down. It just kind of goes, and then my coffee gets me back on track. So circadian cycle is super important to our health just in general, so it'd be worth knowing this about yourself. But it also helps with your coffee and how your coffee can impact your body and how it can benefit your body rather than hinder it. So if you get the jitters, you might be drinking your coffee at the wrong time. Some other research recently came out that you might not want to be having your coffee with a high sugar breakfast because it messes with your body's ability to process sugars. So again, there's different things to consider. Coffee is very good for you, but I think there is a lot of value in knowing when to drink your coffee. So let me know your thoughts. When is your favorite time to drink your coffee? Let me know in the comments, and I'll say adieu.